Congratulations, you have been hired for a night shift as a security guard at the Abandoned Lakeview Hospital. Your job is to patrol the decaying corridors, monitor the perimeter, and follow the rules, especially rule number 7. Rule number 1. When you first enter the main lobby, you will notice the reception desk is covered in a thick layer of dust, except for the old black rotary phone sitting on the counter. Between midnight and 1 a.m., that phone is going to ring. It will be a loud, jarring mechanical ring that echoes through the empty atrium. Do not answer it. Do not even look at it. The thing on the other end is not human, and it is not calling for help. It is the entity that manages the intake of souls here. If you pick up that receiver, you are voluntarily checking yourself in as a patient. Instead, walk calmly past the desk, keep your eyes fixed on the elevator doors ahead, and hum a low tune to drown out the ringing. If the ringing stops abruptly before you pass the desk, run to the stairwell immediately. It means the receptionist has climbed over the counter. Rule number 2. The basement level houses the old morgue. We keep the heavy steel doors locked, but the latches are old and sometimes they fail. This is where you will encounter the restless ones. You can call them zombies, but they are more like husks of biological waste that refuse to rot. If you hear scratching against the inside of the cooler drawers, stop moving. Turn off your flashlight immediately. These reanimated corpses have clouded, white eyes that rely on light to track their prey. They will push the drawers open and spill out onto the tiled floor. They move with a wet, slapping sound. If you stay in total darkness and hold your breath, they will shuffle past you, smelling for fresh blood. Wait until the shuffling fades into the back autopsy room before you turn your light back on and leave the basement. Never turn your back on an open cooler. Rule number 3. On the 3rd floor, you will find the maternity ward. The cribs are rusted and the paint is peeling, but you must never touch the glass of the observation nursery. At 2:15 a.m., the incubators will flicker to life with a sickly green light. You will see small, dark shapes writhing inside them. These are not babies. They are parasitic manifestations of grief. They feed on sympathy. You might hear the sound of soft, gurgling crying. It will sound heartbreakingly real. Do not be fooled. If you approach the glass to investigate, the crying will instantly shift into a high-pitched, ear-splitting screech that will paralyze your nervous system. Keep your distance, walk down the center of the hallway, and if you see a small handprint appear on the inside of the nursery glass, close your eyes and count to 10 until the green lights fade away. Rule number 4. Avoid the mirrors in the 2nd floor restrooms at all costs. In Lakeview Hospital, the mirrors do not reflect the current reality. They reflect the hospital as it was during the Great Fire of 1954. If you catch your reflection, you won't see yourself as a security guard. You will see yourself covered in burns and ash. The danger isn't the image itself, but the pull. The reflection will try to drag you into the glass. You will feel a searing heat on your skin the longer you look. If your reflection stops moving while you are still moving, smash the mirror with your baton immediately. Do not hesitate. Shattering the glass is the only way to sever the connection. If you don't break it within 5 seconds, the charred figure in the mirror will reach out, grab you by the throat, and pull you into a world of eternal flame. Rule number 5. The elevator system is ancient, and it has a habit of arriving on floors you didn't press. If the elevator doors open and you see a hallway with red pulsing veins growing on the walls instead of wallpaper, do not step out. This is the organic level. It is a living, breathing part of the hospital that digested the original architecture. The smell will hit you first, a thick, copper scent of old blood and bile. You will hear a rhythmic thumping, like a massive, slow heartbeat coming from the ceiling. Remain in the elevator. Press the close door button repeatedly, but do not show panic. The entity that constitutes this floor can sense elevated heart rates. If you panic, the veins on the wall will burst, and the acid inside will flood the elevator car. Stay calm, close the door, and go to the next floor. Rule number 6. In the cafeteria, the tables are overturned, and the serving station is wrecked. However, you must never disturb the single pristine table set in the center of the room. It has a white tablecloth and a single lit candle. This table is reserved for the shadow feeder. It is a towering, two-dimensional silhouette that peels itself off the walls. It moves by sliding across surfaces. If you see the candle flicker, it means the feeder is present. It does not eat food, it eats sound. If you make a noise, if your boots squeak, if your keys jingle, if you gasp, it will rush toward you faster than you can blink. You must traverse the cafeteria in absolute silence. If you accidentally make a sound, throw your flashlight in the opposite direction to create a distraction noise, and sprint for the double doors while the shadow feeder attacks the light source. Rule number 7. This is the most critical rule. At 3:33 a.m., the shift change occurs in the intensive care unit on the 4th floor. This is where the horde gathers. These are the reanimated staff and patients, zombies, but intelligent and cruel. They wear tattered scrubs and hospital gowns stained with fluids that have turned black with age. They will pour out of the patient rooms and block the corridor. They are not mindless. They are looking for someone to discharge. If you are on the 4th floor, you must hide inside a biohazard locker. Do not lock it, as the click of the lock will alert them. Hold the door shut from the inside. You will see their rotting feet shuffling past the vents. You will hear them clicking their teeth and groaning in a language that sounds like wet gargling. If they find you, they will not eat you. They will try to perform surgery on you without anesthesia. Stay hidden until the clock strikes 4 a.m. Rule number 8. The operating theaters are strictly off limits, but sometimes the automatic doors open by themselves. If you are forced to walk past an open operating theater, look at the floor, not the table. There is a creature that lives in the surgical lights. It looks like a spider made of scalpels and surgical tubing. It hangs from the ceiling, waiting for someone to look up. It is attracted to eyes. It wants to collect them. If you keep your gaze fixed on the linoleum tiles, it will remain dormant. However, you will hear the sound of metal clinking against metal above your head. That is the creature sharpening its limbs. Do not run, as sudden movements trigger its predatory instinct. Walk slowly, keep your head down, and pray that the surgical light doesn't turn on. If the light turns on, drop to the prone position and crawl out of the room on your stomach. Rule number 9. You will occasionally find a wheelchair following you. It's an old, chrome model with red leather seats. You won't see it move, but every time you turn around, it will be closer than it was before. This is not a ghost, it is a mimic. The wheelchair itself is a predatory organism with a hard shell. It wants you to sit down. It will project feelings of intense exhaustion into your mind, making your legs feel heavy and your eyelids droop. It wants you to believe that resting for just a moment is a good idea. If you sit in that chair, the metal frame will snap shut around your ribs, crushing you instantly, and the leather will absorb your biomass. When the wheelchair gets within 5 feet of you, kick it over hard. It will emit a sound like a wounded dog and scuttle away on its wheels into the darkness. Rule number 10. When your shift ends at 6 a.m., do not simply walk out the front door. The hospital does not like to let things go. The exit you came in through will now lead to a brick wall. To leave, you must exit through the service tunnel in the back. As you walk down this tunnel, you will hear footsteps matching your own pace, but slightly louder, coming from behind you. Do not turn around to check. If you turn around, you acknowledge the entity following you, and it will be able to attach itself to your back. Keep walking forward towards the daylight. You might feel cold breath on your neck or hear your name whispered in a voice that sounds like your own. Ignore it. Once you step onto the pavement outside and the sunlight hits your face, the footsteps will stop. Get in your car, drive away, and never look in your rearview mirror until you are at least 5 miles away.